Welcome, Marks and Marquettes. My name is Psycho Steve, once again coming to you live beyond the shoot. Today we're going to be doing a back-to-school edition of Smackdown Live. What I mean by that, we will be grading every single match, every single segment on the show, and we'll be talking a little bit about some of the wrestlers and things like that, trying to get a little perspective on what's going to happen on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is coming really quick, but first we have Fastlane coming even quicker. So we'll start off with the first segment. Of course, everybody knew from Monday Night Raw, John Cena was going to be on Smackdown today. So he comes out, first things first, addressing the crowd, letting them know that he wants to be at WrestleMania, pointing like everybody does to WrestleMania. Little pause, little pause. Road to WrestleMania, he wants to be in there. So instead of going through Raw, he's going through SmackDown. Comes out and says he's willing to do whatever it takes to get to WrestleMania. Shane McMahon comes out. John Cena, what do you want him to do? What if I put you into the championship match, you're going to become the 17-time world champion going into WrestleMania. Well, he doesn't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. I would love to see that. But you know what? They're not going to just give it to him. They're going to make him earn it. So Daniel Bryan comes out and says, I have an idea. Let's put him in a match tonight in the main event. If he wins, he's in. Who's his opponent though? AJ Styles, WWE champion. So John Cena and AJ Styles have had A+ matches every single time. The last time they met was at Royal Rumble in San Antonio. Of course, John Cena winning for the 16th time as world champion, beat out AJ Styles. It was a hell of a match. The segment itself was really good. I give it a B+ because it explains where we're going with the match at Fastlane, whether it's going to be a six-pack challenge with John Cena or a 5-man match for the WWE Championship. The first match on the card, Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. Also, a match that's going to be tying into the main event at Fastlane. The match was good. Kevin Owens made the match a lot better. He didn't even interfere in the match, but he was on commentary with Todd Phillips and Kevin Owens. I mean, they don't like each other. They show it on camera, and he's just gold as a commentator. The match itself was pretty good. A lot of nice moves from Sami Zayn, some old NXT moves that he used to do. To me, he looks a lot thinner, so he's moving a lot quicker. Baron Corbin is just a beast, so they try to make him look like, you know, like a beast. Give this match a B+. Dolph Ziggler putting himself in the match as well, making sure that everybody knows that he's going to be in the match as well. Super kicking Kevin Owens in the back of the head, coming out of nowhere. He came out of the crowd. You can barely see him in the camera with Kevin Owens. Kicked him in the back of the head, knocked him straight out. He hit a little bit on the outside of the ring, which I thought was great. Waited to the end of the match and just attacked Baron Corbin. So he laid pretty much everybody out before going back up the ramp. So it was a really good match. I think the theatrics were a little better than the match, so I'm going to give it a B+ because the match was solid, but everything that happened around the match was a lot better. Then we go backstage with Shane O'Mac. Of course, Shane O'Mac and Daniel Bryan are not getting along right now. Shane O'Mac hates Kevin Owens, he hates Sami Zayn, but Daniel Bryan, of course, he has some kind of thing for those two guys. I think it's because they're indie wrestlers, in my opinion. He comes and says something, makes it a little personal and says, hey, just to let you know, Daniel Bryan has left the building. And I want to make sure y'all leave the building with him because his wife, Brie Bella, doesn't like it when you're late to dinner. I think that was pretty funny. I give this segment a B+ as well because he made it a little personal. He brought his wife into it, so it leads into the dynamic that they're going to have later on. Maybe next week or towards Fastlane. It's going to be a personal thing between Daniel Bryan and Shane O'Mac. So I believe there's a lot more to come in that confrontation that might lead to something at WrestleMania. But as we know, Daniel Bryan's still not cleared to wrestle. So I don't think he's going to be wrestling, but somehow, some way, Daniel Bryan's going to be part of WrestleMania, and he's going to be a determining factor in one or two of those matches at WrestleMania as well. So the next match on the card was Naomi versus Ruby Riott of the Riott Squad, the leader of the Riott Squad. So Ruby Riott she's like a mystery. You know, she's got tattoos all over her. She's wearing half leg and no leg. So she comes out looking really different. But I think that's what the WWE needs right now because we have a lot of goody two-shoes. We have a lot of dominating women. We have the champion who is Charlotte Flair. Flair. The name itself. We need a little bit something different. I think Ruby Riott is bringing that to the WWE Women's Division. She has good technique in the ring. She sells very well. Naomi, I think actually Naomi got carried in this match by Ruby Riott. And I think the push that Ruby Riott's getting towards Fastlane is really good. Right now, Naomi has the backing of the champion, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. But the Riott Squad is doing very well. The two new girls, of course, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, they're pretty good backups. But Ruby Riott is the leader of this team, and I think she's getting a nice, good push. But a lot of people are liking the fact that she's the antithesis to like Charlotte Flair. Okay, she's taking down two of the girls. She's taking down Becky Lynch. She's taking down Naomi tonight. Now there's one left. She has a title match with Charlotte Flair at Fastlane, and I think that's going to be a really good match. I think Charlotte Flair is going to be Charlotte Flair, but Ruby Riott is going to surprise a lot of people. This match, I gave it a C-, only because there were a couple of botches on the match, but by Naomi. Ruby Riott did a really, really good job selling Naomi's kicks, selling Naomi's action, and I think that Ruby Riott has a future in WWE. She's going to be champion soon, and I believe that. The leader of the Riott Squad will be champion. Quote me on that. She might not beat Charlotte Flair at Fastlane, but I think she's on her way. Now we go backstage again to Breezango, the Fashion Police. I hadn't seen them in a few weeks, so when they showed them, I was kind of excited. But I think this was more of a promotional thing for USA Network. They were promoting the new Unsolved series, Tupac and Biggie. They brought out Josh Duhamel, who plays a detective, and Breezango and Fandango think they're detectives. The Fashion Police, they like to play, they like to solve cases and all this kind of stuff, but they're funny as heck. And then they added the New Day. The New Day came out, did a little rap, did a little Biggie thing. I give that a C- as well, because it was just a promotional thing for USA Network, and it didn't really have anything to do with any storylines on WWE. But continuing with the New Day, they go out to the ring and they start talking about WrestleMania, how they have to solidify their spot in WrestleMania, and in doing so, they need to beat the Usos at Fastlane. Of course, the Usos are going to make their appearance as well. When you call out the Usos are going to come out. This new look for the Usos that's been going on for a few months, maybe maybe a year, I think is a lot better than the old colorful act they used to do as baby faces. They get cheered by the crowd, but they're heels, okay? Because they got that thug look to them. And a friend of mine told me that he looked online, and that thug look, that's them. That's them coming out. So I like the fact that they're just being themselves. And they were talking about how they started out being the New Day. The colorful guys that come out and they're dancing and they're pining to the crowd and this and that. That's what the New Day is doing right now. So the New Day is kind of the old Usos. Just as successful, 4-time champions. The Usos right now are the Smackdown champions. So they're gonna face at Fastlane. Every match that they've had has been really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that match at Fastlane. This promo had a lot of realness to it. They brought out the fact that they thought the New Day, that they were weak. Big E comes out and not smiling anymore. He doesn't have that smile. He comes out right in their face. Big E, if he got right in your face, you'd be intimidated too without the Usos. Face to face, these guys, they brought out the realness in this promo. This promo, I give it an A+, because it tells a story, it shows passion, and it leads up to Fastlane, which is going to be a great match. We don't know what two New Day members are going to fight, but it doesn't really matter because all three are really, really good. They have a great dynamic, and they have great matches with the Usos, so I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, this segment, an A+. In addition to that promo between the New Day and the Usos, the Bludgeon Brothers. They came out, didn't say a word. Looked them in the ring, and they decided, instead of just leaving their, bludgeon tools right there in the aisle, they decided to pick them up and take them to the ring. Very intimidating. It intimidated the Usos, it intimidated the New Day, and they just left the ring. So nobody had a match, but it said a lot. It created a lot of buzz. So the next match was a little surprising to me because it highlighted Rusev Day, but Rusev wasn't fighting. I don't like it when Rusev doesn't fight. I think Rusev brings a lot to the show, a lot of comedic vibe to the show. He's white hot right now. He is very popular right now. The fans love him. They love Aiden English too, but as his sidekick. They would rather see Rusev fight and Aiden English outside. But this time, this match, it was reversed. Aiden English had a match with Shinsuke Nakamura. Now Shinsuke, we all know he won the Royal Rumble, so he's going to WrestleMania to face whoever wins at Fastlane. So he's set. He's probably the only man that has a match right now at WrestleMania set. So putting him in a match with Aiden English, I think it was just to fill a spot. You know, Shinsuke needs work. He needs TV time, so we're gonna put him with somebody. And they should have put him with Rusev, which is why I give this one a mid-grade of B-, because it should have been Rusev in that match. It would have been a better match. It was an okay match. But I think Rusev brings a lot more to the ring with his brute strength, his power, and the fact that he is a funny guy. So Aiden English, you're a good wrestler. You're a better singer probably than a wrestler. But I do love the fact that they still do the bouncing Rusev head when he's singing. And that thing goes on through the whole song. I think it's funny as heck, which adds to the comedic prowess of Rusev. So, like I said, B-. The match was good. Should have been better because Rusev should have been in that match with Shinsuke. It would have told a better story and it would have filled a little bit more time, and they would have more time because that would have been two great wrestlers in the ring together and a good match for Shinsuke as well. Now to the main event. Can't say enough about John Cena. Can't say enough about AJ Styles. These two guys, when they get in the ring, it's magic. For some reason, it's magic. And these are veterans in the game. They're not youngsters, but they're still veterans in the game, and they absolutely bring their A game, their best, every time they meet. I don't think AJ Styles had had a bad match in WWE, except for the first match he had with Chris Jericho when he was right off the Royal Rumble on his debut in Raw. That was the only match that I thought he didn't do too well, but he was getting used to the WWE. Now, every match he has, solid A. Solid A, never a B. He just raises the level of everybody, whether it be Roman Reigns, whether it be John Cena. Doesn't matter who, if he's in a tag team match, he makes the match. AJ Styles is a top-notch wrestler, and that's why he's WWE champion. So to pit him with John Cena, who's a 16-time champion, straight magic. This match, I'm already giving you the grade. It's an A+. John Cena, I don't know where this guy came from. He looked like old John Cena, but with like 5 better moves. He brought out moves that I hadn't seen. A version of the stunner. He had, I don't know, there's this one where he flips over AJ Styles and just brings him into a powerbomb. There's a name for it. I gotta remember that name. I gotta find out what that name is. But he come out with some great moves. AJ Styles had his moveset. I mean, it just works. A lot of kickouts at 2, which is what John Cena does best. I mean, he's got him down, 1, 2, shoulder up. Many times they do that. The AA, AJ Styles kicked out of. I think the phenomenal forearm as well. John Cena kicked out of that. So it created a lot of buzz and everybody was here. This is awesome chants were out. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. AJ Styles, Cena sucks. All these chants were going on. The fans were so electric in this match. I was sitting watching the match at the edge of my seat. My friends were watching it with me at the edge of their seats. So these guys they just make magic. So the final, the match actually came down to John Cena, AA, pulling out of a calf crusher into an AA for the 1, 2, 3. So now John Cena is beating AJ Styles, and now he is part of the Fastlane match. The championship match is now a 6-pack challenge. John Cena, 16-time world champion. Anytime you add him to the match, to any match, it's going to bring a lot of buzz. It's going to sell more tickets. So on a personal note, this is how I feel. John Cena is a free agent. He was brought out to Smackdown. I think Smackdown is lacking a little bit of star power. You have AJ Styles, you got the Usos, you got Charlotte Flair, great top-notch wrestlers. You got Shinsuke Nakamura, the best wrestler from Japan coming to the US. I just still think there's not enough star power on SmackDown at this point. So bring on John Cena. I mean, it's gonna help. Put him into the 5-man match. Make it a 6-pack challenge. It's going to work. Now it just creates a little buzz. Who's gonna win the match? Is it gonna be AJ versus Nakamura at WrestleMania? Is it gonna be John Cena winning to become the 17-time world champion? Is it gonna be Dolph Ziggler, who I believe just signed a huge contract with WWE for 2 years? So is he getting his push right now? We just don't know who's gonna win. Is Kevin Owens gonna screw Sami Zayn? Is Sami Zayn gonna screw Kevin Owens? There's so many stories that are going to be brought out at Fastlane for WrestleMania. But this match, I mean, John Cena, it adds a lot of buzz to this match. So I think this Fastlane match just went from an A to an A+++. Okay, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for Fastlane, like I was excited for Elimination Chamber. I think this pay-per-view right before WrestleMania is going to tell so many stories, and it's going to show you exactly why WrestleMania is the biggest event of the year. Because all of these matches and all of these superstars, I mean, they're going to make the show. It was an exciting match, and I give it, like I said, an A+ for the match. Grading the show though, overall, we had some C matches, we had some Bs. But overall, I'm going to give it an A because the star power is there now. SmackDown has the stars to take it to another level. I think SmackDown's going to do very well if John Cena continues to stay and AJ Styles continues to dominate. And you know, the tag team division is really good. The women's division is coming up. It's coming up. We need these girls to start stepping up a little bit and then having those great matches. And once they start doing that consistently and getting away from 6 women tag team matches, I mean, let's spotlight them in one-on-ones. Let's get them in there one-on-one. Let's have them fight it out, you know? But like I said, A on the show. I think it was a really good show. SmackDown, there have been worse. This was a good one. Told a lot of stories and setting up for Fastlane. I think next week will probably be a better show, and we'll see about that. But right now, I think this was an A show, and I would give it a thumbs up twice. I would give it a bullet clip check. Too sweet! But yeah, it was a really good show, I gotta say. A lot of star power. So I went over the grades of all the segments, all the matches, but most importantly, folks, I want y'all to grade the matches yourself. I want you to click on this eye right over here and tell us what you think. You know, grade the whole show, grade every segment that we have. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. If you have any comments, please comment down low, like our page, subscribe as well, because we'll be doing this every week. We want to get you involved as much as possible. So we can grade it ourselves. We have opinions, but so do you. So please, once again, click on that eye. Let us know what you think, because your opinions are just as important as my opinions. We're all wrestling fans. You might be Marks, I might be a Mark. You're a wrestling fan, I'm a wrestling fan. Let's hear what you got to say. So once again, I'm going to point to it again. It's very important. I need your feedback. So like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think, all right?